Hello, we are Team Kyrios, and today we will be presenting our solution to Farrer Park Hospital's seamless visitor management system. So as we go along the presentation, we will show you how we tackle each of these points. So the problem is, given the current climate, there is unnecessary strain placed on healthcare workers to accommodate the extra workload. In addition, the current visitor management system is highly ineffective due to the high level of manual intervention. To tackle these problems, let us introduce our solution, Kyrios Solutions, an all-in-one integrated platform that helps automate and streamline the process of visitation. Here, we have three components: visitor, staff, and administrator. Visitors will be able to self-register with the patient's details, access the chatbot to post queries, and to view announcements regarding visitation rules. For the staff, they'll be able to view live visitor status of the wards and to check in and check out visitors to update the live count. For administrators, they'll be able to edit visitation rules and update visitation status of a patient in the system. So what are we trying to achieve with Kyrios Solutions? Our solution emphasizes on hands-off smart approach for a seamless visitor management system. Our three key deliverables are to reduce staff intervention by minimizing contact points, optimize manpower resources by automating all visitor admission and verification, and to streamline the visitor admission process as much as possible. Here we have a competitor analysis that compares current solutions with current visitor management systems in Singapore. We have automatic host notification, ID scan, pre-registration, visitor watch list, live visitor number, and most importantly, competitive prices. Existing VMS solutions have many functionalities, but our solution is unique in the sense that it is easily customizable for the client's needs. For instance, Farrer Park Hospital can decide if they want to fully automate the visitor management. This can be done by implementing an automated gantry based on our database query, or if they wish to physically validate visitors by scanning the visitor's NRIC. In this case, our solution can be immediately adopted into Farrer Park Hospital system with almost no upgrade costs and minimal charges. Here is the architecture of our solution. For our front end, we use Amplify to host the website, and it is linked to Elastic Beanstalk, which hosts our database, which is basically AWS's relational database. Here we can see that we have mapped out the paths that visitors and staff will take through our website, which will be explained more in our walkthrough. So going further, if possible, we would like to integrate a gantry system which can eliminate the need for staff at the ward counter to have to tap their pass to allow entry to the visitors. When it comes to the pricing of our product, our solution encompasses the self-service kiosk, which can be charged as a one-time fee. The VMS system will be sold on a subscription basis with different price points. This ensures that our solution is affordable for businesses of various sizes. So what about scalability and our business model? It is easy for us to upscale should the rate of usage increase. Our solution also provides a flexible method of validating and allowing visitors into the wards. The business model is also viable as costs are kept to a minimum by using AWS services. There is no need for Farrer Park Hospital to set up servers to maintain the web platform. Furthermore, by hosting the validation system on our website, it effectively relieves the burden of staff members from performing manual checking and validation of visitors. Thus, manpower can be more efficiently allocated. Next, our solution is also scalable from a profit margin perspective, since our product is sold on a per-use basis. This helps cover increase in operational costs and enables us to remain a healthy profit margin. Here at Kyrios Solutions, we blend together functionality and intuitive usage to bring an interface that is user-friendly, yet doesn't compromise on effectiveness. We know that a staff's job to see through huge chunks of data is tough, but it doesn't need to be. Bringing in data manipulation methods with just a click of a button, staff users can iterate through massive amounts of patient data with just a few clicks. Let us prove this to you with our MVP walkthrough next.
Hello, welcome to Team Kyrios' minimum viable product demonstration. So for the first perspective, we are going to look at our web application from the visitor's perspective. So when the visitor visit Farrer Park Hospital's website, they can actually click under the patient and visitors, and Farrer Park can actually include a link here which directs the visitor to our web application. And upon clicking this link, they'll be directed to our web page. So over here in our web page, actually, the visitor can type in their own name as well as their NRIC number. The visitor will then key in their own contact number, and they'll key in a valid patient's name as well as a valid patient's NRIC. So if the patient's name and NRIC is already stored under our database, then the query will be successful. So for this instance, yeah, let's try this query first. So over here, it actually says that the visitor has been registered, and if you take a look at our database, so if we refresh this, you can see that the visitor has been included into our visitors workbench. So in the event that the visitor keys in a wrong patient name, so for example, if they misspelled a patient name and NRIC, then this patient name and NRIC will not be under our database. So in this case, if the patient tries to key this in, they'll say that there's an incorrect patient name and NRIC. This prevents visitors who do not have valid patients to register themselves. In other words, only visitors with patients currently in Farrer Park Hospital can register themselves and add themselves to our database. In the event that a visitor tries to register themselves again, there will be another error which explains that the visitor has already been registered. So in this case, we prevent visitors from flooding our database by registering themselves multiple times. So this ensures that only one copy of the visitor is stored into our database. And when the visitor goes to visit at the ward itself, the nurses can then scan their NRIC, which queries the database and enables them to enter. In addition, if visitors have queries about how to use this visitor registration page, or if they have any other frequently asked questions, our team managed to integrate AWS's Lex, which is an AI chatbot, into our web page. For minimum viable product, our AWS Lex is not fully configured. However, it is able to carry out very simple functions. For example, if the visitor wants to visit, yeah, AWS Lex would ask what type of appointment. So you can just say, um, so if they ask this, then you can say later today. What time? Around 3 p.m. And then, yeah, and then they'll confirm this and you can just say yes. So in this case, yeah, this is our minimum viable product integration of AWS Lex. For the second perspective, we are going to look at our web application from the administrator's point of view. So for staff and administrator, they are able to log in through this dropdown, and if they key in their valid staff ID as well as password, they'll be able to log into the administrator's page. And under the administrator's page for our minimum viable product, administrators are able to make new announcements. For example, okay, so if I click announce, the this will show that the announcement has been successfully updated. And if we go to the main visitors page, you can see that you can see that the announcement has been updated. So this makes it easy for the administrators to update new rules that visitors can take a look at. Going back to the administrators page, they are also able to change visitation rules. For example, if a specific patient requests to either allow or deny visitors, the administrator can actually key in the patient's name as well as the patient's NRIC. And in this case, if there is a valid patient stored in our database, then this page should show up and it will show that Tom is currently not allowing visitors. So the administrator can actually toggle this by clicking here, and it will update by saying that the patient is actually now allowing visitors. So if you take a look at our database under patients, you'd see that the patient Tom is currently is currently allowing visitors over here. And so now if we update this again, so if let's say we search for Tom, and now we toggle this again, it will say that Tom is no longer allowing visitors, and this is also reflected, this will be reflected in our database. As you can see now, Tom is no longer allowing visitors. It is actually false now. So in addition, the administrator is also able to change the maximum number of visitors currently allowed in the wards and the ICU. For instance, if let's say the regulation has changed to allow a maximum of 5 visitors in the ward and only 1 visitor in the ICU, the administrator can key this in, and it says that it will say that it's successfully updated, and this will also be reflected in our database over here. So you can see that the maximum number is 5 and 1 respectively for the ward and ICU. And if we change this back to 2, we can see that this is also reflected in our database by querying it one more time. And you can see the ICU number has been updated. So that's all for our administrator's point of view.
Now, I will demonstrate the features that staff members have when using our application. Upon logging in with their staff ID and password, they will be brought to the staff page. Immediately, they will see an overview of all the patients in the hospital and the live number of visitors in each bed. They can filter the patients by name, ward number, bed number, and current visitors. They can also see an alert of all the ward numbers that have visitors awaiting entry. This gives staff members an all-in-one place to manage visitors. The application also gives staff members a simple way to scan the IC of visitors. The system will then check and validate the visitors, determining whether or not they are allowed entry. Here, a visitor is not allowed entry, as this visitor has not yet been registered. Here, a visitor is validated as the visitor has been registered. We can see that the current number of visitors are updated accordingly. With this, visitor management becomes more efficient and effective.